to make our sectional pots, and I want to start off with having that be easy for us. So I'm going to suggest that you don't throw to your edge, but you throw behind your edge. So let's say you know you can comfortably make a 2-pound pot, but you haven't yet made any 3-pound pots, or you tried it once or twice and it didn't go so great, then make 2-pound pots or 2.5. Whatever you feel comfortable throwing, or just right around that edge, stay there. Don't push yourself too hard, because that's the beauty of a sectional pot, is you can throw it basically twice or 3 times as big as you can make a single piece. And it's also just a great exercise in learning to join pieces. So let's see, let's get something here. I went ahead and made a drawing for myself. I'm working well within my range, which I decided to make 4 pounds. I think it's 4, 3, and 1.5. And I'm pretty confident that I can do that. I did this wavy vase form that I've seen Danny Meisinger do. I think it lends itself nicely to this kind of pot, to a sectional pot. And I also want to say, I learned from Sarah Wells Rolland. So I don't know if I've said this already, but I'm no expert at sectional pots. I mean, I've done the two-part bottles forever, but I haven't made large sectional things until I started teaching, because I just wasn't interested in making big things. I was interested in making small things that I knew would sell and that I could easily transport to Saturday market. So it's all new to me too, but I've enjoyed the times that I've done it. Also, when we're working with larger amounts of clay, you've probably seen people do this, but well, first of all, what I like to do is, if it's not right in the middle, I just give it a little shove into the middle. And you can also do some of this. This is kind of a nice meditation, and it starts to center the clay for you. So if you don't want to use the force that it takes to start centering, this will make it easier, doing a little slap centering. So I have a sense of what my first, I was going to say what I learned from Sarah Wells Rolland, is that you don't want the joints to be at the widest part of a curve. So if I were going to make a moon jar, I would want the joint to be either before I got to the widest part or after. I'd want to curl it in and then join it there. I'm not making a moon jar, I'm making a tall wavy pot, but we will do a moon jar too. So with bigger pieces, I do cone up. But I still throw them the same way. I would like to practice some other techniques where people start with a tall mound and use different hand techniques, but I just do what I know for now. Part of going bigger is going slower, not the speed of the wheel, but something inside of us has to slow down. So this is going to be a pot with a base. This is the bottom of the sectional pot. Got a bat that doesn't fit very well. I want to get it pretty tall, so I will open it pretty wide. But it's also going to be relatively narrow, so I don't want to go too wide. Okay. Just evening it out. And I will go ahead, I don't think I have too much clay here, but I'll go ahead and check it. It might be a little too thick. Let's just check. No harm. Oh no, it's pretty thin. Okay, great. About 1/4 inch. Good. Okie dokie. Make sure it's not too thin. Sucks if you make a huge thing and then cut through the base. Okay, so let's go ahead and push this in. This is where I want to go slow inside myself. I really want to feel for the centering here. Don't go beyond this if it's not centered. Keep going until it is. Now, if it's too big of a piece for you to get your pinky on the outside, just all fingers inside, I'm gonna get my pinky on the outside, because I still can. And see how I'm going so slow at the bottom. You can even count the little cha-chungs from the bat. Then at some point, it's smooth sailing, and I'm gonna wanna leave the rim thick here. So not super thick, just as thick as the wall. Not thin, maybe slightly thicker than the wall. So I'll flatten that out and keep it there. Okay, then I'll do a sponge pull, digging under, compressing into the wall with my thumb. And here, this is where I really feel the concept of the pull. When I'm working with larger amounts of clay, I can really feel that I'm actually pulling upwards. There's a little bit of a upward pressure. Okay. Keeping the rim here where I want it. I'm looking at my drawing. I'll dig under. Let's see here. I've got a little bit of clay there on the bat. I'll use my sponge to get under there. Okay, one more sponge pull for me. Taking my time. Staying between my fingers. I notice it's starting to wobble below. And keep a half an eye on that. And if it goes beyond what I can control, I'll stop and take care of it. Otherwise, I'll just keep pulling through. Nice and thick right here. Okay. Let's go ahead and compress that now. I really like it when I don't have to pause and fix it. So I just pushed it out from the inside to even it out. I'm just gonna do a fingers like a rib pull just to even it out. Okay, still another pull in there. Let me take some of this water out from the inside. And I think this is gonna be a finger pull. So let me get under there and wait, and wait, and wait. I'm still pulling a cylinder. Give it shape later. I just noticed myself a little bad habit leaning on the opposite edge of the rim. I'm gonna slow down here and get the slip off my hands. Turn it up. Get back on, pick it back up just underneath where I stopped. And here we go, a little water. Back to speed. Here we go. I'm leaving this thick, and now I can create a little well here in the rim. I'm gonna want a little well for the top piece to sit into. Okay. Again, fingers like a rib. Nice thick rim. Okay. Let's see how it feels down there. There's another pull. Dig under. Yep. Okay, here the speed that helps me move this clay. I don't want to thin it out too much because it's going to be the, you know, all the weight's going to be on it, but also should be able to hold it. A little cross-eyed with my glasses falling off. Okay. Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to give it a little shape from the inside. Just a gentle slope out and back in. I don't want to get it too wide because I want this kind of narrow, svelte shape. That one I have to fix. I can't keep going through that one. Fingers like a rib. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. It looks kind of dark. Okay. See here. Coming out. Still under control down there. It's wobbling, but it's not falling. This is definitely my first pancake. Normally I'd make 3. But I'm just gonna try 1 because last time when I did sectional pots, 3 like took over my life for 2 days and I don't have the time for that right now. Too much going on. I gotta go to the dentist. Okay, that's a little shape. Clean it out one more time. And clean it up with my rib. I'll just cut a nice clean line down to the back and then press out from the inside. Really feeling it. From those wobbles, it just needed a little bit of extra time at the bottom there. So, let's see here. I'm going in and then back out. So the joint won't happen at the extreme of a curve. Won't happen at the extreme in or the belly. It's going to happen on its way back out. Okay. Let's do just one magic rib if I can find it. No, not here. Okay. Oh yes, it is hiding. Okay. Just to make it really a nice finish on the outside. Flip the magic rib over. Okay, and that's the base. I'll go ahead and, it looks pretty clean, but I'll just clean it up a little bit better on the back. And I wrote down my weights for the next time. Oh, let me just also kind of fortify this rim here where I'll be joining it. So just a little well for the next piece to sit into. And while it's here, I can also, might want to wait for this, but I'll just go ahead and do it while it's on here. Okay, we'll see if that was, should have waited. Okay, part one, the base. Okay, so now we're going to measure the inside of that ridge because I want the next piece to kind of sit inside. So I've got this, and I'll go ahead and do it with a ruler too as backup. Let's see here. This is 4 3/4 inches on the dot. So I'll write that down on the bat. 4.75, even though I don't think I need to deal with it because I'm making it right now. But anyway, if this moves, then I won't have to measure it again. 4 3/4, and if I forget. Now I just did this as a demo for Deanne, but we're just gonna open this up, I think, I hope. Okay, so let's go ahead and go all the way to the back. And so I'm going for a final rim of 4 3/4. Let's see here. And this part is going to be the top part. So I have to think about that. I'm gonna bring this in, I'm gonna compress this all together. Probably not the best way to make this kind of a pot, but let's see here. Okay. Just kind of getting this all together, and I really don't want to come out too far with this because I don't want to be moving this part. Since it's open on the bottom, I kind of want it to be at the final diameter. So this is going to be slightly different. We'll still use the claw, but it's going to be a little bit more of like vertical throwing instead of conical throwing. So let's see here and feel this clay that I just messed around with so much. And I think we're going to be okay. Okay, so here we go. Going for a tall and narrow cylinder with, I can't remember what we said as far as the diameter. And the rim is going to be round. So 4 3/4 maybe. Let's just do this and see where we're at. Yeah, it's going to be about exactly like that. So I'm going to keep that and just bring this in underneath. The bottom is pretty thick. Sponge pull. This one is 3 pounds. I'm leaving that rim thick and leaving that right there. Okay, now I want to go back. Oh, I don't have my drawing. I need my drawing. Basically, let's see here. I think I can visualize this. We'll do one more sponge pull. Okay, just starting to give it a tiny bit of shape. Take the water out, fingers like a rib. Okay, I'm gonna want this to come out and then in. So I think I want this to be further out. Okay. So I'll do one more pull here, thinking about the shape. Getting some bowling pin vibes here. And a lot of this, where it comes together, will be trimmed off where the joint is. Okay, let's get in here. That's about it. Let's see here. That looks just right. And clean this up. So what I decided to do for this one is just do like kind of a sample, like a smaller one, and then if I like the way that it comes out, I'll make a bigger version. Well, that's what I mean by let's just work well within your edge. A little bit of curve is a lot. You know, these pots, they don't have that much curve, but because they're going to get put together and they have this kind of positive and negative curve, or convex and concave, I think it'll wind up looking pretty wavy. Okay. Not pushing anything, not trying to make them like super thin, just taking it easy, doing something that's easy. And this, when I look at it, I think that this wants to come out pretty much right away. Not in and out, but out right away. Visualizing, I think it's going to be okay. Okay, so we'll leave it like that. I think that the thing to do now, let me see, I have to remember. We're going to want to connect them, and we're going to want to use a heat gun or a hair blower on them. So I think I need to go and consult my notes here to see how I do that, because I don't want to say it wrong or take a guess. But this one's going to go on top of the other one, basically upside down. And I don't know that we need to leave it. I think we can do it pretty much right away. Let's go see. While it's here, why don't we actually do this? Measurement just to be sure. Yeah, I think it's just right. Okay. To be continued. All right, well, I'm not exactly sure what the right way to do it is, but I decided I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna use a torch on first the top piece, then put that out of the way, and then the bottom piece, and then put the top on top of it. This is the top. Yeah, top, put it away. So I'm not gonna record the whole thing, but I just wanted to record that that's the next step. I'm gonna heat gun this part, like the body, but not the top. I'm gonna leave this soft, get this kind of firmed up. And I'll do it, I'll just show you a little bit. I'll do it by going up and down as the wheel's spinning. I'm gonna put it on high. I'm gonna get the wheel spinning slowly. And I'm gonna kind of meditate here for a little while, look at the ocean, and just kind of go up and down. Maybe I'll go more slowly. Yeah. And so you wanna do this until you start to see the steam rising off the pot. And what that does is it creates a shell on the outside of the pot. So it's going to be hard on the outside but still kind of soft on the inside. So you don't have to listen to that for too long, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, I think I might have overdone it. It feels really kind of warm, and I didn't see it steaming, so I just kept going, but I think it probably was steaming, so it's kind of dry. Let's see, it'll probably be fine. Okay, and then the next piece, I wanted to do that one first, so then I'll just leave this one on after I dry it off and then add the top on. So now I'll do this one. I'll start off and then on high, rotating, and I'll do that. Okay, so now it feels warm and kind of stiff on the outside. I'm gonna grab a little slip. I'm gonna stick it in the gallery here. I guess it's called a gallery. That little area. And then I wanna get my thin wire ready. I guess I can probably use this one. Thinner the better. Yeah, we'll use this one. Great. Okay, so let's see how this is going to come together. I'm going to go up and over, just nice and easy, and lay it in here. And I did want it to overlap a little bit like that. I want it to sit on the inside. Looks pretty good. Let's see here how easy this is going to be. We'll get it going here. Whoopsie. First I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna do this just to attach it so it feels more stable. And I'll also, that was really nice. I'll also just give it a little push from the top. Okay, now I think I feel a little more confident about cutting under. So I'm gonna hold it here with my shoulder. Hug the back. Woo! Keep it tight. Somehow it popped right off before I got through. That's okay. That's because I think of the heat gun. I think it just dried out. Well, lucky it didn't flop over. Okay, so let's see here now. Hand inside, hand outside. I'm probably gonna have to stand up. And I'm gonna kind of slowly first compress and get this kind of feeling like it's connected. And then I'm gonna get rid of this excess clay. It's interesting how it seems like with this one I could kind of work it into the design, but I don't think I want it to be thick like that at the joint. I want it to be smooth. So let's go ahead and compress a little bit. Let me see if I can stand up. Okay, yeah. Get that out of the way. So on the inside, there's a seam. I'm gonna just massage that seam while I'm just holding it on the outside. I'm keeping an eye on the bottom because I really don't want it to, I don't want to give it too much pressure because it is a freshly thrown pot. So even though I did the whole thing with the hair dryer or the heat gun, it's still it's relatively soft clay down there, I think. I'm going to use a rib on the inside. Let's see if I can get those two to get married on the inside. I'm kind of folding these two different, not style, yeah, like I kind of learned the technique from Sarah Wells Rolland, but then I'm kind of choosing a form that was Danny Meisinger's, and I'm just kind of remembering what I remember instead of really reviewing. When I was first doing those large pictures, I was really going kind of play by play with Sarah. So whatever she did, I did. So I was just kind of doing her thing. Okay, but I do remember getting rid of these seams. So let me use the magic rib on the inside. Oh yeah, she pushed it out from the inside and then she trimmed it out on the outside. I do remember that. So let me see if I can actually kind of feel it with my fingers there. Where is it? I can see it with my eyes, but I can't feel it with my fingers somehow. Maybe it's better than I think. Okay, and she used one of these fatty trimming tools, and I think I might have to first use the heat gun on the outside, but let's see here. Oh, that's coming off. This is just the excess. Just kind of jumping around a little bit. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Having this problem with my glasses falling off my face today. So fun making stuff. Making weird stuff. Okay. See if we can get that nicer. I don't know what I just did to it with my tool. It wasn't a good thing. Let's see. Okay, I think we're getting there. It's interesting how it's just so much bigger on the top piece. Wasn't really exactly what I was thinking. I think I might need to use more weight on the bottom next time. Oh, but I am going to put this up on a pedestal foot, so that'll be helpful. Oopsie. So now it's all about the lines. Love your lines. I think I need like goggles that stay on your face when you're upside down. that's not so bad. Let's come up to the top. And it had like a little problem when we were taking it off. I might need to, I'm gonna drop a bunch of water in there. I might need to cut this. And then my vision was a third piece here. So are we gonna do that, or is this gonna be some kind of modern looking thing? With like little handles down here. If nothing else, I have to get this rim nice. I feel like I would like it better if, I don't know. Let me look at my original drawing. My initial drawing, this piece, the top piece there was a big difference in the shape. So I'm gonna see if I can just change the shape of this. Better. Definitely better. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gonna let this kind of set up a little bit, or use my heat gun on it a little bit. Stabilize. You gotta love the shape. If you don't love the shape, what's the point? Oh yeah, we're losing it at the bottom. Okay. I think I better either heat gun it or something. Yeah, it's collapsing at the bottom. Let's heat gun it. Okay, so I just heat gunned it a little bit, and then, yeah, I was kind of losing it down here. That's not the original curve. I'm just gonna kind of shove it back. Okay. It is gonna sit on a foot on the bottom. Something tells me just to leave it. Don't bring it up and do any fancy things. Just leave it. Let it be this. And so let's do that. Let me just make sure I like this top. Feels finished. Okay. Take the water out of the bottom. It's just a drop, but still, it's too much. Let's see if I can get there. Okay. And okay, now let's cut this off and throw the foot for it. It's cool if you can finish this whole thing in one day, isn't it? I think the foot, oh yeah, that's not the foot. I have a pound and a half. I don't think bring it up too high. Let's outside measurement of this. Let's see, from back pin to back pin is an easy way of knowing that you're opposite. Okay, I think that that's it. And we'll measure that. That is 4.5, 4 3/8 inches. 4 3/8. 4 3/8. Okay. And then just thinking, how tall do I want that up? Not that tall. Just use this. Also going to go all the way through the back here. Oopsie. Oh my god, I'm dropping everything. Okay, where are we? There we are. Hi, Neems. Are they here?
The woman's here with her kids.
Oh.
He looks busy, but...
Yeah, I want to do this.
Should we give him like a...
Filming.
Oil bottle?
Let me give him a serving bowl.
Okay, so we have an idea. Serving bowl.
Yeah.
You have an idea which one you want?
Let me just do it, Neems. Don't worry about it. What? Okay. Gonna leave this thick. It's gotta hold that. Flatten that out. It's gotta hold that. Okay, let's see where we're at. Just about there somehow. Weirdly. I'm going to give it a little area. I'm going to push this out between my fingers and give it a little area that I'll use a texture roller on. Pushing that out. This is going to be for my foot. Texture roller. Let's see here. Wet it down. And that stuff. It's all right. Okay. This should be pretty flat because it's a flat pot. Okay, take out the water. Cut in here so there's not a lot to trim. Hit this guy with the heat gun. Doing this heat gun inside and outside, I really want it to be stable. I'm just trying to avoid this part here. I mean, it's okay if it dries out a little bit, but not much. Looking at this, I'm wondering about the design. I'm wondering if it should reflect this a little bit more and kind of come out. I'm second guessing the shape I made here. So I'm gonna actually get rid of that. And I'm thinking about, yeah, like changing the actual shape of it so it can really feel how it got warm here. I'm not sure. I don't know. I feel like this is the kind of reason why it's good to draw things. So you can really see what you like. Just trying to visualize it. I don't want that. Let me do my footer again. First pancake. Okay. Put her down there. Design choices. Why do we do the things we do? I think it's an important question. Knowing why we make these choices and having the choices be conscious ones. Okay. Okay. It's a little ornate or something at the bottom, but so we're gonna dry that out a little bit more. This doesn't have a lot of height, so I don't have to go up and down and up and down and up and down. I thinned out the walls a little bit, so it's going to need a little bit more. And even though I couldn't see this the steam last time, I realized after a while that I could smell it. Started having that kiln water smell. Okay, I think we're there. So let's turn that off. Clean my hands. I'm gonna have to pick up the pot and score the bottom. And maybe sign it too, might be a good time. Let's do it. So picking this one up. Oh yeah. How the heck do you do this? It's wet, you know? Okay, so here, I'm just gonna sign it later. I'm gonna run a finger around the outside so I make sure that it's pretty wet. And I'm gonna use the video to see, oh, I can't even do it. Ah, shit, hold on, put that back down. I gotta put the slip on. Okay, let's grab some slip. And here. Okay. And now, everybody say a prayer. Okay. Okay. Actually, I think that does a lot for this pot to add the foot. I'm just going to compress it here to join it gently. Let gravity do most of that work. And just grab a sponge and clean it up. And then I get to decide if I want to add handles. Not right now. I'll let this set up. It did get a little bit banged in right there for me, like lifting it and everything. So I'm gonna get my hand down in there. Whoa, it's so far down there. Okay, let's see here. I don't want to mess it. I'm just gonna do it manually with my fingers because it's so wet at the top. This whole thing is pretty wet. Okay, turning it off. Good enough for me. Good enough for the first pancake. I actually like it. It looks kind of funny. It definitely has like bowling pin energy. Here. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. And if I did do handles, they'd be little circular handles right in that space there. And I could also make a lid for it. That's fun. Why don't I make a lid for it? I'm gonna measure it, and I'm not gonna do it right now. But I think that could like really take it up a notch, and you know I wouldn't have to have it, but I'm going to measure it so I can if I want. You know, you can always get rid of the lid if you don't want it. Okay, great. So I'll write that measurement down. We've got 3 inches on the dot. 3. Oh, geez. I'll just write it on a piece of paper or write it with a pencil. But yeah, I think that'll be fun. More elements.